Holly, what is your last name?
Minetti.
Minetti. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. Kelly Halsell.
I know there's a whole bunch of
Okay,
you.
that shows everything great.
And married too.
A big family.
Yeah, I have an offer out right now on some lady and she's volunteers at the hospital. And she goes, your family name's all over Marion. I was like, yeah.
Oh, cute.
But it's been a long story. My husband's grandfather was the Minetti, and he looked exactly like a picture of Clarence hanging in the
Oh,
house.
yeah.
But he was shot
Like
by
said,
a poacher
it's on the
back in the
flyer,
late
it didn't say
30s
West.
on the
So
ranch.
change my
But he was
glasses.
managing, so grandma remarried, so I don't really know exactly.
Oh, then I have to look it up.
How it
There's only one. So
Oh,
I'm like, all right,
okay,
that's the
so
right
you're in the
place.
family.
Okay,
so
cute.
great.
And then I saw your husband's car. I'm all, no, that's the right place.
Told Scott the other day we stopped by and I was like, all I hear about is your truck. Truck.
You should see him rolling over it when he came out to look at it.
Oh, he took pictures and sent me. Like,
Uh-huh.
literally taking pictures of somebody else's car and like
He
texting.
took pictures of him and he's all, I gotta send this to Tara. He's just gonna die. I'm all, no, you mean yours rolling? He's all, well, that too.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh.
It's not like he has a little beater car. Oh, there's Lily. Okay, I'm just gonna say hi to some people. Her husband, well, actually her, has a brand new like Ford.
Silver one out there.
Oh, did you drive it? Yeah.
And Rob's like.
Yeah, it's the only vehicle I drive because I can't drive a stick.
Okay.
So he's,
Here,
and then our business van, I can't put kids in it because there's all the equipment in it. So
Oh, let's try
it's the only vehicle I drive for now. Next year I'll get
we'll go to
one.
gallery view.
For now, it's just.
Okay.
Robert's a new house, so.
Hey, Miss Lily, welcome to our meeting.
There you go.
Okay.
Phyllis, I think Anne Marie just got the same phone.
This one? Oh,
With this
yeah.
sparkly cover.
oh, that's funny.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, let me just say. That's all right. Okay, we will honor your time. Sorry about that. A couple people may pop on the Zoom. I'm just going to be here. And so welcome. I'm Phyllis Anderson. And I'm a nurse. I kind of said it before, but I'll just say it for all people in Zoom land. I've been a nurse for over 20 years, a medical assistant in a doctor's office, and a CNA for 8 years prior to that while I was going to nursing school. So I am a person that is very familiar with a lot of different health conditions and kind of the way we progress through life with those health conditions. And when I found Plexus, I found something that helps with prevention. And when I found that and what it did for me personally, I was like, okay, I need to start sharing this and I need to share it with everybody. I want everybody to know about it. Now in the ER setting, I am not allowed to say a word about it. So, because it's conflict of interest, but darn it, if I could just like slip a card here and there to some people that really, really could use it. Like it's like life or death that they could use it. Their gut is in such bad shape and they're like, my doctors have no idea what's going on. There's no help or hope for me. That breaks my heart. And I'm just like, find a really good probiotic and, just keep searching or get a good naturopath. Because some naturopaths are really, they're into the gut health. And so at least they understand that. And that's a start. But it's my passion for us to just explode this information here locally for sure. And across the United States, like why not? I've got people all over the place on my team, all the way as far as Florida. And in Hawaii is where our team reaches. So there's over 1,000 people on my team. And I'm super proud of that because I wouldn't be sharing, number one, if it didn't work and if there wasn't some value here. And number two, look at all the people it's helped. So I call it this massive ripple effect where when you just share with your friends, your family, your coworkers, your neighbors, those closest to you, they're able to be your accountability partner, but also enjoy the benefits. And maybe you'll have two different stories to tell because I can look at, like Kelly's been on the products now for a while. She's my sister-in-law. And then Tara's been doing the products for actually just a handful of months, but all of our experiences are super different. So at some point I would love like just maybe a little snippet if you guys don't mind just sharing your experience with the Plexus products, because I don't want this to be all about me. I definitely would love any kind of input. And then Colleen joined us last night. She joined already as an ambassador, and that's great. So she's excited to get started, is what I hear from Tara. So we're excited to support you too. Yeah, so it's not just supplements, it's like this little family, it's a community, and you'll love the support that comes from behind it. It's not like going to lessons or GNC or, you know, to help food store and just kind of like picking and choosing and being like, well, I don't know, somebody said something about probiotics, I'll go just choose one. And that will just blur your eyes anyway, because there's so many different probiotics to choose from. So the fact of the matter is we Plexus has bundled it for us and made a really great combination of these things that work, and it's simple. Like, that's the whole thing. Like, this looks complicated. It's not. There's something here for everybody, and you don't have to. Let me just mute this right here. Yeah, you don't have to. You know, there's something here for everybody. You don't have to take everything, but I'll let you know. I have pretty much. I've tried everything. So yeah. So anyway, there's nothing that I wouldn't take on a daily basis. It's just some of it I don't need to take on a daily basis. So, all right, I will kind of just give you a little tiny bit of what got me into Plexus real quick. So I was going through some post-menopause symptoms. At 41, I stopped having periods. Done, over, no more periods, which is great because I was like hemorrhaging monthly before. And that was not a good thing, right? So I knew my hormones were out of whack. I knew something was happening. And then all of a sudden they stopped. Well, with that came hot flashes, some unexpected weight gain. Like, I just started putting on the pounds, and I was running marathons, half marathons, exercising 5 days a week. I was eating as healthy as possible. I had a sweet tooth, and I knew that if I just ran, I could always keep that weight off. Well, it wasn't working anymore. I hadn't changed my exercise, hadn't changed my eating, but I was just watching this weight pile on. So I went to my gynecologist, and I said, okay, hot flashes, no libido, sadness, anxiety, heart palpitations, the crazy weight gain, not really mood swings. My husband, though, he would say, you're cycling, but you're not having outward signs, you know, so I knew my hormones were just a mess. So anyway, went to her, she said, honey, all I can give you is a hormone replacement that may help with your hot flashes, but it's actually going to make you gain more weight. And so I was like, okay. I don't want that anyway. That was a big no-no because of just hormones and the risk for breast cancer. And we have breast cancer in my family, so I didn't want any part of that. And she agreed. So she just was like, gosh, you know, maybe just go lift some more weights or something like that. And so I said, you were not listening to me, were you? Because I live at the gym. I exercise like crazy. So I left that office. I was pretty bummed out, actually, but I was like, this is not going to take me down. I'm going to go do my research. And then I called my sister-in-law who lives in Hawaii. Her name's Barbie. She looks like a Barbie. She's 108 pounds. She's 5'4", has no weight to lose, very fit, like surfer. She is a, what is it called? A personal trainer, but she's got her certification. So, and also an ER nurse. So we're both nurses for a long time. So I just called her up and I said, okay, I need your help. Like, give me a new exercise routine. My body's used to what I'm doing. Something's got to give. So she told me, Phyllis, you're doing all the right things, but let me talk to you about something I literally just signed up for. So Barbie told me about Plexus. She said I spent 3 weeks looking at all the ingredients, and like, that's all I needed to hear from her. And I trusted her. So I didn't even look at anything. I didn't taste any pink drink. I didn't do anything. I just said, can we sign up like right now on the computer, please? And so we did. We got our products the same day, and we started the same day. So Barbie and I have been on this journey now. June 1st was our first day for 2 full years. And to say that it's changed my life is an understatement. So not only did my hot flashes are well controlled, I wouldn't say they're totally gone, but I couldn't stand up here without just pouring sweat talking to you guys. I don't have brain fog anymore, which I was really concerned about that. I'm like, why am I so cloudy? By the end of a shift, a 12-hour shift especially, I was like, from 5 to 7, I was like, I'm fried, man. I'm totally fried. Too much information, too much stress. And it was affecting me. So that's not the case anymore. So I'm happy to say, like, life doesn't have to be that way. I was having restless legs, migraines, which I kind of was relating to all the exercise I was doing, like tension in my neck. That's not the case. I was just magnesium deficient. Let's see what else. oh gosh, I was having chronic UTIs, all gone. I was having canker sores every month, all gone. These were little things that like, as I noticed, like, oh, I haven't had a canker sore since I started Plexus, you know, like actually I had a little outburst of them through this little die-off period that we go through. But after that, I've not had any. And so just one thing after another, just, you know, going away. So I didn't wait to share. I actually found out that if you share right away, you can get your products paid for. So I was like, well, I don't want to pay for these things. So I grabbed my mother-in-law, drove to her house. I called my best friend. I said, you're doing this with me. And then by the end of like 4 days, I had my third person. And then by the end of that month, it just started like spreading, and I was posting on Facebook like, hey, here's my pink drink. This is what I've noticed so far. And then just posting like weekly, daily, you know, little updates. And my team grew to 24. And so I made over $1,300 my first month, and it's just exploded from there. So I'm an emerald in the company, which just means I'm 2 levels from the top. I'm pushing towards that second level from the top right now. And I'm making over $100,000 a year. I actually need to go pick out my Lexus, so I have a car coming. And so that's pretty exciting because I am a nurse, but that does not mean that that's what made me successful with sharing this. What made it successful is that it's working for people. I wasn't afraid to share. And so the incentives have even gotten better. When you bring in 3 people with you from the start, you can make $420 back right away in your first 14 days. So the business side is incredible. The compensation is amazing. Plexus is very generous with us. And the products are even more amazing because that's the part that keeps me going. And I'll never, like, as far as I'm concerned, I'll never stop because it's filling in those spots in my life that I'm just not getting from food. There's toxins in our air. When I talk to you about gut health and how these products work, you'll see like you always need a gardener. Whether you're gardening your garden or you hire somebody, it's just what Plexus is doing. It's weeding your garden, it's feeding your gut garden, and balancing hormones, balancing blood sugars, and balancing your gut. So without further ado, I'll talk a little bit about some products and then I'll let Tara share her story. And then if you have a favorite product that you want to share with people, like maybe if you want to talk about the kids' vitamin, what it's in for your family, okay, or whatever. I'm not talking, I'm putting her on the spot, I'm sorry. But if there's something you want to share, and same thing, Kelly, if you have something that is your burning desire to talk about, I'll let you do that too. But okay, so Slim, it's called Slim, but this one is the one that when I talked about Barbie, how tiny she is, how she has no weight to lose, she takes this one. It really needs to be called Balance, because what it did for Barbie was she didn't lose weight, she didn't lose a pound. It gave her some peace and calm. And she used to say, I exercise like crazy to get rid of the crazy. And now she says she still works out because she's a believer in working out and moving your body and all that and being very fit. But she does not, she's like, I don't freak out if I didn't get my workout. Where that's what she would do, and everybody, everybody would know. Because Barbie did not get her workout. If you're watching Barbie, no. So anyway, okay, so Slim comes in 2 different flavors. One is a watermelon. This is the one you guys drank already. The watermelon raspberry lemon flavor. This one's blood orange. And so actually, Tara, if you want to pour them some more, I have more cups right there. You guys can taste that one. So the only difference between the two is this one has more fiber and this other one has a prebiotic in it. So the prebiotic is going to feed the good gut bacteria. This fiber is going to help like give you a feeling of fullness. And then when you eat, it's just slowly releasing the food into the food is assimilating a little slower. So you're not getting these massive spikes in blood sugar and then this big dump of insulin, that causes this crash and burn and you feel horrible when that happens. Everybody always gets hungry or hangry, and then you go get more food, and then you're just back on this roller coaster again. So what Slim does is it just takes your blood sugars and it stabilizes them so they're on this flat line rather than this up and down roller coaster thing. So so that's what this one does. So it was originally created for diabetics, for the whole blood sugar control thing. What they noticed was these guys were losing weight and they were having a hard time with weight loss to begin with. But the other thing they also noticed was, their blood sugars were well controlled. So their hemoglobin A1Cs were beautiful. the numbers were coming down. They were getting off their oral medications. They weren't using as much insulin. But then it was that weight loss factor that they're like, wow, these guys have major insulin resistance. They do not lose weight. This is helping them lose weight. We've got something on our hands here. So Slim was born. But both of them do exactly the same thing. This one just has prebiotic in it. This one just has, and this one has more fiber. So yeah, so there's different packages that contain each of those. Everybody can start on this one because we do have some really wonderful starter packs that come with this one. And so you think, oh, I really don't want, the hunger control. I don't really need help with that. But everybody can take it and use it. Barbie uses this too. And again, it's just more about like that glycemic index, just slowly releasing food into the system. So if you look at it that way, but it can curb your appetite or get you to that next meal without like wanting to rip somebody's head off, right? Because that's how I used to be. Like I'm hungry or hangry, and it's great for teenagers too. So it's like amazing for teenagers because you get this better, like a little better mood going on, and also Kelly can talk about hormone control. I'll let you do that. How's that? Let me get your story. So, okay, the other thing this stuff does, not only does it balance blood sugars, it reduces inflammation. So what people will notice after they drink their Slim or they're, on the Slim a few days, they're like, wow, I'm really going to the bathroom a lot. That's just inflammation leaving your body. So if you had a lot of inflammation, you're going to notice that. So it's pulling that extra fluid and just getting it off. So people notice pain starts to go away and they're like, man, that chronic pain I used to have, it's not hurting me as much because of what the Slim is doing for you. It also detoxes your brain, detoxes your liver. So anybody with fatty liver disease that, the doctors will tell you have a fatty liver, that can create actually a lot of pain up in this right upper quadrant when you have something like that. And the only cure for it is changing your diet drastically or getting something that can help detox that liver, burn that fat. So if you are a person with fatty liver, it's going to burn that fat first before it burns any visceral fat. Visceral fat is what we store here. And this is the stuff that's dangerous for our bodies, okay, the visceral. So anyway, it's great. It burns fat, but spares muscle. So you're not like losing muscle. In fact, it's going to help build lean muscle. Somebody might be here. And then, so people with high cholesterol, high cholesterol. High cholesterol, or like those two things for me. Why am I blanking on it? And high blood pressure. So sorry. High cholesterol and high blood pressure, people notice that those numbers come down. Yeah, the numbers come down into a normal range. So if you already have kind of like, oh, Phyllis, I already run low on my blood pressure or my cholesterol's perfect, I don't need that stuff. Great, that's good. It's not going to tank anything out. It's not going to, create an imbalance for you. It's all about balancing. So far you've only missed the Slim talk, but we can kind of go over that with you too because it's super amazing and it's important. So along with Slim, we call it like this Fab 4 is what I love. Is the BioCleanse, ProBio 5, and Slim. I just feel like are just married. You should never take them apart because of what it's doing. It's focusing on core gut health, balancing your microbiome. This is responsible for mental health, for immunity. So if you're getting sick all the time or your kids are getting sick all the time, it's kind of a gut health thing. So you really have to focus back on gut health and like my microbiome passed on to my kids' microbiome when I had them. So looking back on my kids when they were little, I'm like, oh, all that acne they were born with, my gut was a mess. I had cystic acne, same thing with my babies. And so, again, just hormonal imbalance. So, okay, hang on. Okay, core gut health, back on track. So yeah, these guys, this one's gonna feed the good gut bacteria. This one's gonna scrub up the junk that's lining our gut. Okay, so melatonin, serotonin, our immune system, these are big guns that our gut is responsible for. Like 90% of our serotonin is made there, our happy hormone. 90% of our melatonin is made there, it's our sleep hormone. So all those people you're scrolling past through the middle of the night, they should be on Plexus too. So because I sleep, I call it corpse pose. I just sleep, like you lay your head on your pillow and you're out. And what I noticed was I'll wake up at like 6 a.m. and I'm just like ready to go, even if I went to bed at midnight. I just need less sleep, but I'm totally energized. I mean, I feel great. I bet you cannot believe what I've done today so far. But when I lay my head on my pillow, I'm out, and it feels so good to finally get some good sleep, because I was a restless sleeper too. My husband had sleep apnea, and he doesn't anymore. And he's a skinny guy. He's not like a big heavy guy with sleep apnea. So that means like, you aren't breathing very well. Like you actually stop breathing in your sleep, and so you're losing, there's a lack of oxygen, and that's just really horrible for long-term health. Okay. The other thing is Probio 5. Probio 5 is a probiotic, okay? But the thing that makes this special is our blend of digestive enzymes that are in here. So this is why this one, you won't find this in the market. You won't find it anywhere else online. The digestive enzymes break through this little candida shell. So candida yeast is what we're all born with. It helps our bodies decompose when we die. It's a fungus. So it's a healthy fungus when it's in check. It's a really bad fungus that creates leaky gut and some autoimmune disorders and a whole lot of other things. When you look up the word leaky gut, I encourage you to do that, because you'll be like, oh gosh, check box, check box, check box, check box. So we all, I don't care like how good you eat or how much you exercise, because I was that girl and I had issues. And so I'm here to say that this little guy breaks open that little shell. I call it like a cape that's made of like, I don't know, tough outer coating, as tough as a cockroach shell actually. And so our Probio 5 gets in there and breaks open that shell, eliminates it, eats it up, and then allows our gut to finally flourish. I can close the curtain over there too if that sun starts to hit you in the face. Okay, yeah. So anyway, the Probio 5 BioCleanse. So then the BioCleanse takes that stuff that the Probio 5 has been weeding and getting rid of, and the BioCleanse takes it and eliminates it. So that is how we flush those toxins out. So that's why it's so important. I have so many people come to me and they say, oh, I can't do probiotics. It makes my stomach blow up and bloated and gassy. I'm like, it's working. You just need BioCleanse. So come here, let me show you my stuff, because that's exactly what's happening to them. They're going through die-off. They have no way to help get rid of it. And so anyway, so that's just we call it like I don't like the word healing crisis, but your body does go through some healing when you start these products. And so that's why it's important that you really talk to us. We're here to support you, get you through that little uncomfortable period, which 30% are uncomfortable. 70% don't even know they went through die-off. Okay, and I think Tara, you were one of them. She's like, I felt great. Like she never really had any issues. And so I was like, no, I'm more bloated, more gassy. And I was like, oh, I could clear a room right now. But I was like, this needs to get out. That's all I knew. And I was like, something is really gross inside and it needs to come out. So the BioCleanse, and hallelujah for that, because I was a bloated, gassy person before. Without my coffee and without running, I would like go a couple days without going, sometimes 3 days. And I'd be like, and then you go get a laxative. It was just a bad cat and mouse game that I was playing with myself. So, okay, so that's the cornerstone right there. But also adding in X Factor Plus. This is our fully methylated multivitamin. It has 50 polyphenols, which just mean those are little things that feed good gut bacteria and make the good gut bacteria flourish. So you want good bugs. You want 80% good bugs, 20% bad. That's the balance that our body needs. And in the US, we're kind of flipped on that. We're 80% bad and 20% good. So getting your gut microbiome back into balance is what most of our products are all about. We do have some weight loss, which we'll talk about in a second. But the X Factor Plus also has an aloe blend. So this aloe, just think of aloe, how you get the little plant, you squeeze it on a cut and it helps heal it. That's the same thing it's doing for your gut. It's repairing those little micro holes that our candida has rooted into your gut and created these little micro holes. And you get food particles, you get bacteria, you get whatever's in your stomach or processing through, leaks through your gut. And where does it go? Into your bloodstream. So when people have allergies, whether it's environmental, food allergies is a big one because food particles are entering your bloodstream. Your bloodstream says, hello, what is that? That's a foreign invader. So there's our autoimmune response. So this is why there's so many weird autoimmune things out there right now. I'm like, where's all this coming from? And then when I found Plexus, I was like, that's where it's coming from. Like, fix our gut, fix the autoimmune disorder. Doesn't mean your markers go away. Doesn't mean it heals you, but it sure means that your symptoms are like, bye-bye. Like your symptoms are well controlled. I have a girl with rheumatoid arthritis. She kind of forgot to even use her Humira shots because she's like, I wasn't having pain, so I never thought to go get my shot. So she was taking a shot a week, which is like $1,200 prescription. She went down to 1 shot a month. And she's like, my doctor just told me don't ever stop it. So she's doing it just for her doctor's sake. And it was like, okay, but at least you're only ordering it every 3 months, every 4-month cycle. So that's great. And then that girl lost 40, I don't know, she won't tell me how much weight she's lost. I'm just guessing. It's so noticeable that everybody around her is like, oh my gosh, what are you doing? And so just naturally, she was forced to share, which I love because some people are like, I'm not sharing, I'm not telling anybody about this. And I was like, okay, your autoimmune disorder is almost gone, or hardly detectable, and you don't want to share this. Well, then when the weight came off, everybody's like, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm like, gosh, never mind that your autoimmune disorder is fantastic, but the weight loss is what people focus on sometimes instead of the true healing on the inside. So anyway, I'll continue with my passion for healing us from the inside out forever. I love that these guys help us do that. This has a B complex in there too, that if you're doing any kind of B12 injections, get rid of it. You don't need it. This will replace it because of the methylated vitamin that it is. I have the gene mutation for it. My sister-in-law does, her husband does, my other brother does, that we do not methylate vitamins. They have to be, they're synthetic vitamins. They have to be methylated for us. And so that's what this one is. 60% of us have that gene mutation. So next time you get blood done, have them add, it's the MTHFR. You'll never forget it because it sounds like a bad word. MTHFR. All capitals. It's a real deal. I had my doctor add it and he didn't even know what it was. So when my test results came back, no idea. Actually, it was Diane, the nurse practitioner. She's like, what is that? I'm like, just put it on there. And I tried to explain it to her a little bit and she's like, okay. But sure enough, it came back positive. So I was like, well, there I am. I'm one of the 60%ers, which is a lot. What else, Kelly?
Hot flashes, maybe?
Oh yeah, the selenium. Thank you. Yeah, this was my game changer for my hot flashes. Selenium in here helped to completely knock them out. So I did my slim the first day. I drank my slim. By the end of the night, I was like, wow, I went to blow dry my hair upstairs where it's even hotter than it is downstairs in the middle of summer. And I noticed I wasn't like soaking wet basically. And I got to the end of that and I was like, okay, now I'm curling my hair. Surely I'm going to start sweating any second. Nope. Got to the end of that. Now I'm like, okay, I'm putting on my makeup. It's going to just, why bother? Got through my makeup, ran downstairs, told my husband, I'm like, oh my gosh, I didn't have a hot flash. And then boom, I started sweating. So I was like, okay, well, it wasn't perfect, but holy crud. I just did 1 stick of slim. Like that's all I had done my first day. And I'd already felt like my appetite for the evening, I didn't need food, but I knew I need food because I need to eat. But my appetite was like, I didn't need as much either. I felt fuller faster. So for me, I had like immediate fast results, but I told you like my lifestyle was pretty darn clean before. I exercised a lot. So for me, I was very other a little longer to notice those big aha moments. But I say open your mind to it, be willing and accepting to what's happening to your body. Listen. Sandy, I'm gonna just make sure you guys are muted, okay? Okay, they know how to hook on. Okay, and then also there's a not green muscle. It's New Zealand black currant is in here. It's a plant-based iron too. So if you tend to be anemic or have some iron deficiency anemia, that's the other word for it, this is great. And this will actually help bring those numbers up without adding any extra supplementation, unless you're really, really low and your doctor's like, no, you need to be on extra iron, then do that. But this is really all you'll need for the long term. Okay, and then Vital Biome, this is another probiotic. This one has 8 different strains. So it's different than our Probio 5. And people say, oh, if I'm taking Vital Biome, do I need Probio 5? Oh, heck yeah, you need Probio 5. That's the one cleaning your gut. Cleaning, and throwing down, different probiotics than what you're going to find in here. This one has 8 different strains. It helps with mood. So this one's crazy. This one helps with anxiety, depression. I call it my cool as a cucumber capsule. They're little tiny ones. I take mine in the morning. You really can take it anytime during the day. A lot of this is just empty stomach because we want it to get down into the small intestine where it starts to do its job and lay down the good flora, the good bacteria. Digestive issues too. Like I just kind of Googled, I put in the little strain of bacteria, lactobacillus, blah, blah, blah. And then whatever pops up, I was like, oh my gosh, look what that does. And then like IBS, Crohn's disease, like all these different digestive health issues is Vital Biome. That's what you're going to find in here. So, so that one I love. But my husband takes this too, and he's a fireman, right? Some of you guys know that. I don't know if you do that. But he started taking Vital Biome because I kept telling him how I just feel really like calm. Nothing. Working in the ER, I don't feel like when stuff's coming at me, I know how to process it well. So that's the other thing. My mental clarity is on track, and it doesn't affect me no matter what's coming in that door. It doesn't bother me or stress me out or get my adrenaline pumping like it used to. So he was like, okay, I'm going to try it. So he did, and he went off of it for 4 days. And he came back to me and he's like, do we have any more of that stuff? Because he's like, the guys at work are driving me crazy. And he goes, I didn't realize how much they really drove me crazy and how much they don't drive me crazy when I'm taking Vital Biome. So I thought that was really cool to hear that, because I'm like, I don't know, I'm never going off of it. I just know how great I feel on it. So it's why do that to myself? Okay, and then actually, okay, I said enough. Tara, do you want to share your story?
So in a nutshell, 'cause it's a long story, but in a nutshell.
Are you okay if I
Yeah,
put you
go
on?
ahead.
Okay. Right out.
So in a nutshell, I suffered horribly from postpartum depression. I met Phyllis when I was 8-9 months pregnant with baby number 4, running after all these other kids, and I was like strung out like you couldn't believe. And so anyway, basically I was suffering from depression, anxiety, extreme anxiety, to where like I couldn't even drive over a bridge with my kids without coming to this like, okay, if the bridge breaks and we fall in the water, how am I gonna get 4 kids out of the car seat that can't swim? That kind of anxiety. And let's see, I couldn't sleep. I'd get maybe an hour and a half to 2 hours of sleep a night, just because I mentally couldn't sleep. So I was on the phone all the time. I felt that I couldn't speak to anybody. I had such mental fog going on that like I would just constantly be stuttering and then apologize, like, oh gosh, I must just be so tired, I need coffee. And I'd feel embarrassed and I'd walk away, go away. But after I had the baby, the postpartum did not get any better. I was having suicidal thoughts. I'd be up all night long just thinking I was a horrible mother. I was so stressed out. I couldn't make friends. I couldn't do anything at all. What else was there? I had blood clots. I suffered from blood clots with baby number 4 with the pregnancy. And then that ended up giving me the worst thumb size varicose veins down my leg to the point where I couldn't even stand for more than like an hour, let alone work out. So that whole second half of my pregnancy was just horrible. Landed in the ER because of blood clots. They were afraid they were going to go into my chest and heart and lungs and stuff during delivery. So I was a mess. So I'm forgetting. I think I got them all. The anxiety.
Well, just with your kids, like.
And screaming. I mean, it was getting to the point where I would just like tell my mom, like, I just shouldn't be around these kids anymore. Like, so at the time, I believe I had a newborn, a 2-year-old, a 4-year-old, and a 7-year-old. So, and my husband's a firefighter too, so he was just gone a lot. And I would just scream at them. I was just so irritated by hearing them. Even just laughing would just get me, like, get my skin rolling. And I just would be like, okay, gosh, Tara, like, they're just kids, like, calm down, like, don't do this, like, don't. I couldn't grab myself. I felt like I was just spiraling, and I just couldn't grab the control. So anyway, so I finally gave in to Phyllis after a year, and let me tell you, she's like, it's 7 days trial for $20. Like, come on, you've got to do this. I was like, okay. Oh, I'll do this. Like, finally, I'll do this. It's been a year of her talking to me about this. I can say by day 3, my entire life is completely different. And again, I mean, some people, it takes a little bit. Some people, it goes really quickly. I noticed the calmness. Just felt very like, the kids would be freaking out. And I was just like, okay, whatever, you guys handle yourself type of a thing. The energy I felt after having the pink drink for a couple of days, it was like drinking Starbucks all day long. Like, I literally, that's what it was. Like, I had no energy. I would wake up in the morning, well, obviously, because I was getting like 2 hours sleep, I would just be like, oh my gosh, like, I can't even handle this. And unfortunately, with the depression, like, I was praying to God to just take me out at nighttime. Like, I did not want to burden my kids with this like monster of a mom every single day. Like, I didn't tell anybody about this. I think I mentioned it once to my husband, like, can you just tell the kids, like, it had nothing to do with them if, you know, he answers me and I go, like, just make sure, you know. Anyway, so then, so yeah, 3 days into it, I felt super energetic. Like, I mean, and I'm kind of a high energy person on a healthy note anyway, but I felt like I could just go all day long. The anxiety was gone. I was sleeping through the night, and I always joke with Phyllis, like when you've had like 4 glasses of wine, kind of sleep through that, where you're like, you know, oh, that calms me out. Like, I was out all night. It's like, oh, it's wet. It's 6 o'clock already. Like, I hope the kids didn't call me. Like, you know, didn't hear on the monitor. And that was something I did notice. So I do have 4 kids, and 3 of them wake me up like every 2 hours, it seems like. So somebody's always coming in, and that's where I would be like, oh, great, now I'm at. But the ability to fall right back to sleep. Like, I get up, do this, even that one, this one, whoever gets my attention, and I can fall back to sleep. So that is a super good thing. But I was waking up. So then probably closer to the week afterwards, I was waking up and I noticed I didn't feel so stiff. Like, all my joints were, I would be like, Phyllis, I feel like I'm like 80 when I wake up. I like can't even stand up straight right away. The leg crampy kind of stuff had gone away. And I was just happy. I felt very just, you know, my kids were like, Mom, what's this pink juice stuff? You seem so, you're not even yelling at us. And then, of course, made me feel bad, but it's like, I know, right? Like, you know, this is too, you know, like, this is so great. So, and a long story short, so February will be, June 1st will be 4 months. And I can just say, it's like what you said, like every day or every week, I'm kind of like, oh, gosh, that's right. I don't even get this anymore. Oh gosh, you know, I started working out again. I had more endurance. I wasn't getting to that, like, oh, my chest is cramping. It's been like 3 driveways. Like, we've got to stop. Like, I think I'm having a heart attack. My husband's like ignoring me going on. The sleep was great. I'm happy. I'm so patient and calm and collected with the kids. I am on point with like my focus. Like, I can multitask and not get distracted with, it's just great for the focus. So yeah, the depression, I haven't had not one sense of that, like, oh, you know, the depression's gone completely, the anxiety, the sadness, the just being angry for absolutely no reason, the lashing out with the kids. Don't get me wrong, I still lose it on my kids every once in a while, but like, to be able to control that and just be a little bit more, like, even doing homework stuff, which sometimes I'd be like, why don't you get this? I just said this 10 times. Like, I don't know how else to teach you how to add, or whatever it is, you know. And I'll sit there and I'll be like, oh, you know, and I'll do something and I'll be like, oh, I just did that so calm, and like, I didn't get frustrated, you know, to myself. The veins are gone. Like, my ankle used to be as black as my pants, and it goes all the way up with these like thumb size. So they're all nice and skin colored and pretty much making their way completely gone. My blood clots are gone. I haven't had any of I have like these like stroke-like feeling symptoms happen. And then the best thing, I think, because I love spinach, I haven't been able to eat spinach since I got pregnant with my 3rd kid for some reason. I don't know, but it literally 3 leaves of it would make me be vomiting horribly for about like 3 or 4 hours. And I didn't even notice that. I kept trying it throughout the last like 3 years, and then I'd be like, oh, why did I try this in the toilet, you know? But I am obsessed with this new salad at this restaurant. I had it probably 5 times in the last month, and it wasn't until like the last two times ago, like I'm eating this salad, and I'm like, oh my gosh. And I like to look at my hands like, oh, is this spinach? Like, oh no, there's spinach in here. He's like, but you have to eat it all the time. So I went and asked him, like, is this? But I was like, oh God, what am I gonna do? Like, oh great, like 20 minutes. Oh, I'm gonna be like curled up, like, shoot, like, how do you get it out? And he was like, that's weird. You've eaten this salad, this same exact salad and sandwich, like 5 or 6 times, and you've never gotten to. And I'm like, this is like our after church thing. And I'm like, oh gosh, you're right. So I like ate all of it. I even asked him, like, can you put more spinach in here? And I ate even more of it. And like, you're like, oh, you're gonna pay for this later. You're trying to make a post for tomorrow. You're gonna pay for it, you know. And anyway, so I have had it all the time, and it never affected me. So I think it really did clear up. It took a little while to do it, but it cleared that up. So it's just great. And yeah, every so often I catch these little things, and it's like, oh, you know, clear that up too. So
yeah, so it really helps with digestion. I'm going to turn it this way again. Thank you, Tara, for sharing all of that. Like, for her to be that vulnerable, like, postpartum depression is a real deal. And, you know, and I work in the ER and I see that. I see these women struggling, and it's a very silent suffering, right? Because nobody wants to feel crazy, because you do feel crazy. You're like, this isn't a normal thought. Why am I thinking this way? But I'm thinking this way. And so to think that we can fix these mamas before something really bad happens, I mean, or why suffer postpartum depression and suffer through that? No need. There's no need. There's so many people on our team. In fact, our biggest fearless leader on our team, that's what got her into Plexus, was the postpartum depression she had. It was on her 5th baby. And they really, like, I don't know that they wanted the 5th baby, but they were having the 5th baby. And she's like, okay, this is just, we can't do this anymore, because of the way she was feeling. It was out of control. And her husband's a doctor and she's an ICU nurse. And but anyway, her friend shared Plexus with her. She got on the products, snapped all those little feelings away. She became a wonderful mom that didn't snap at her kids, and life just changed for her. And she's like, game on. Like, that's when she said too, I have to share this with people. And so Brooke has built literally an empire, and she's 41 years old, and she's a millionaire in the company, and she's just hitting 3 years in either September, it's July or September, it's her 3-year mark. And so, but Brooke's, you know, she's like this tall. She's had her 6th baby with 0 issues. So it's safe during pregnancy. Breastfeeding, like, it's the best thing you can do during pregnancy. And when you breastfeed actually for your baby, and Tara actually has some great, because her baby was pooping better and her teething was like non-issue.
Yeah, she dropped 5 teeth all at once. I never even caught on to it, because the drooling, the snot, the rosy, the fever, the like diarrhea stuff, like it never came. So I didn't realize it until she started laughing. And that white stuff in there. I'm like,
it reduced the inflammation for her baby too, and so she wasn't experiencing all that
plus she was
pain.
going potty more. I was texting Phyllis like, okay, I love this, but this is wasting my diapers. Like, you know, like, we're going to diapers. Like, should I just wrap a bag around her?
Yeah, but she was
And the
pooping.
gas and all that stuff had gone away.
Yeah, so she was gassy, she was probably more constipated. So it's kind of cool. Like, she wasn't, it was just passively going through mama to baby, but that's just how safe it is and how wonderful. So these babies with like that projectile vomiting, you know, that reflex that they get. We even have a pediatrician on our team who has been known to open up a capsule of BioCleanse and rub a little bit on their gums just to get the magnesium to get them pooping instead of Miralax, because Miralax is just toxic. Nobody should be taking Miralax. Okay, we got BioCleanse. It's way better. Very nice form of magnesium. It's magnesium ascorbic acid and sodium bicarbonate. So it is an oxygenated form of magnesium too. Hey, Tucker. So it gives oxygen like to the cells inside. So instead of us breathing oxygen in, taking it in from the environment, this is releasing it on the insides. And so cancer and candida do not thrive in an environment like that. So I have a lot of cancer testimonies too. Again, a lot of these you can just go to YouTube and say Plexus and cancer, and you'll get people's testimonies that you'll find right there. Or anything, multiple sclerosis, cystic fibrosis, any autoimmune, you just pick it, it's going to be there. Anything, migraines, polycystic ovarian syndrome, infertility, endometriosis, like female stuff, we got you covered, because it's balancing hormones, and this is like a big deal. My son's cystic acne went away with just the triplex alone. He's actually using now the Joyome to help with the scarring, because he had terrible scarring on his chest and back and on his neck and face. He still gets little pimples because he's still a teenager and he eats lots of burgers and fries and stuff, because he can't fix that overnight. But it's just constantly, I just feel good about it, because it is, he's not getting sick. You know, he's playing 3 sports, full AP load at St. Joe's, and it's doing great and not stressing out, and he's not doing bad things. Like, his blood sugars are balanced, so he's not craving that kind of stuff. He's going to be a senior this next year. So, okay, so then just the other thing, we'll make a lean shake if you guys want to taste this. But this is our lean protein powder. It's great if you want to lose weight, you want to replace the meal with it, great. You want to have a little snack and a smoothie, you can give your kids some of this going out the door in the morning for a fast breakfast. Safe for the whole family. And then like for Aiden, maybe he'll come down, probably not. He's 5'9", 145 pounds, so he's real tall and lean, but he uses this in between his meals to actually supplement and give him more calories and build muscle, and it has amino acids that helps to build the muscles back up after been working out. It does not have the, it's free of RBGH, which is a hormone that they pump into these cows, growth hormone, artificial growth hormone. So it's free of that. And it's 15 grams of protein in this bag. It's a whey, so it is dairy based. The casein, the animal protein has been removed. It's cold pressed whey. So you're not getting that, that protein. If you've ever watched Forks Over Knives, have you seen that? That's a good one to watch on Netflix. It'll kind of freak you out a little bit. You'll never want to eat meat again. But casein in particular is responsible for cancer is what they're linking it to. And they did this like 30-year China study where they're like, why are the guys in Asia not getting prostate cancer? Like it was like a ridiculously low amount, like 14, but there's 40,000 cases in the United States of prostate cancer because they don't eat, they don't eat a lot of meat. And so the casein animal protein. So that's what they linked it to. It has the perfect amount of carbs, fats, and protein in here. So it is a medical meal. So if you're looking to really truly replace a good meal, this is perfect. It's 2 scoops for a meal, 1 scoop for a snack. And this is our Nourish One charity. It supports Feeding America. So there are people in America that are starving, believe it or not. And so every meal you take from here, they donate a meal towards Feeding America. So this is so when you purchase this donates towards our charity. And we actually have a really good program right now. So one of our bundles that if you look at our different starter packs through Friday, so it's fast, they're giving us blender bottles, like blender jets. So like a NutriBullet, you'll get a free blender jet when you purchase any of our combos that include the lean. We just got this email yesterday. A lean combo. So it's as long as it includes a lean, it has a sunshine next to it. We'll help you find that if that's what you're interested in. And then if you're already an ambassador, like I can go ahead and order this today. And since you are already an ambassador, if you're like, hey, I want that too, I didn't get that, you can go and order just one of the bundles, grab a couple bags of lean, an extra bag of slim, and you'll get the blender jet as well. Oh, maybe if there's a lean in your kit at all, you would have gotten it. Yeah. Okay, we'll look at it. We'll see. And then, okay, what else, guys? Okay, so the other one I love is MetaBurn. So like Slim and MetaBurn, this is something too for weight loss. This is great. If this is all you do and you want weight loss, I still is very passionate about my triplex because that's how I lost 20 pounds over 6 months, was getting to the root cause of why I couldn't lose weight. And then, but MetaBurn is great. This one is a thermogenic. So this does have a little caffeine. It's in the form of green tea, the best kind you would want. It's got polyphenols. It has, doesn't give you the jitters at all. So that's the cool thing about this is I've actually taken it late in the afternoon and I'll be like, hey, wide awake at night. Like I can just burn the midnight oil as long as I need to. But when I hit my pillow, I'm asleep. So it doesn't keep me awake. But it also doesn't give me the caffeine shakes, which I got from just even a cup of coffee. I was very sensitive to that. I don't drink coffee anymore. I don't need it. By the way, there is no stimulant in the Slim. It drives sugar into the cells for energy. So this is why like little kids can take Slim as well. Kids with ADHD, autism, Tourette's. This is a great product for them actually because it's again balancing blood sugars, which kind of creates some of those over the top behaviors. And so the triplex is great for that. But back to the MetaBurn, it also helps with mental clarity, energy all day. A little new booster, it has 5-HTP in it, so it kind of boosts your serotonin levels. So this is like a one-stop shop. Like you want a little extra fat burn during your day, a little extra energy, happy mood, mental clarity. Like this is awesome. I love it. This one just came out in December. And then Block is awesome. It is a carb blocker. So before you have a little dessert, maybe a glass of wine, we just try to stay limit your consumption while we're getting you through this initial detox, die off period. Not completely necessary, but whatever, we have some tools to use. It'll mostly if you're looking at pasta or pizza or like I said, a dessert, you just pop a couple blocks in your mouth, go to eat your food like that quickly, and it's going to paralyze the enzymes that break stuff down into sugar, which then turns to fat and gets stored if we're not using it. So it's going to block 48% of that. These two little guys here are thermogenics as well. And as the MetaBurn, these have caffeine in them. So I'll let you know what is caffeinated. These burn fat, spare muscle. This is a great pre-workout. So if you're heading to the gym, pop a couple of these. You will sweat like crazy. And it also has African cactus in it, so it helps expand in your belly, so you're not the hunger suppressed. So you can take it with food or without food, whatever you want. This one, the accelerator, same kind of thing, thermogenic burns fat. It has 5-HTP in it, so it boosts mood as well. That's kind of a nice thing. I did a couple different things like that. And then Edge is great. My father-in-law uses this and it's helped him with his memory. So I've got a new person on there. Hey guys, whoever just joined us, I'm just going to mute you. Welcome. Okay, that's great. Hey, we got more people. Okay, so anyway, my father-in-law, once we started him on Edge and within 3 days, he had said, Phyllis, I just need to tell you, he hugged me and he said, he's 81. And he said, I went to get my map out because I was trying to remember this name of a lake that I went to when I was a kid. And he says, for the life of me, and for a long time, I remember that name. He said, but as I was walking to get to the map, he's like, click, Huntington Lake popped in my brain. And he was like, that's just incredible, you know? And so I was like, isn't this weird? All this time we've been feeding them all this Namenda and Aricept and all these things for memory loss when really it's just toxins in our brain. And so the alpha-lipoic acid in the Slim detoxes your brain. This is why brain fog goes away. And so Jim just had a lot of crap in there that needed a detox. So, so that, and then this increases mental clarity and gives you good energy. So he's not a napper. He's 81. He walks like 3 to 5 miles a day. He'll go from the YMCA and walk home. We're not having him do that as much anymore because he could take a little fall, but he's just got great energy, and it's kind of good to have Jim back. So his wife was tearful every time we'd see her. Minnie was getting just sad, you know, sadder by the day because she's like, I'm just watching us, we're losing him. And I was feeling the same way because I was like, we can't even like help him form sentences anymore or get the context of what he's trying to say to us. That is not a problem at all. And so he's been on this for a year now, and we've not seen any kind of more progressive decline. There's more that I want to put them on, but they're, you know, family, and so they'll only do so much, and they're doing some other things too. So, so that's okay. I'm just super happy that we've made such a, you know, such a great difference so far. And then I do have to say, for our men in the group, I don't know if there's a man on that phone, but this one, Minnie came to me, my mother-in-law, quietly, and she was in the garage on her phone, and she said, can I just tell you something really quick, or can I ask you a question? She said, does this seem to help with like libido or male performance, you know? And I said, oh my, yeah, actually it does help with libido. But I kind of like asked her a little bit more, and she says, well, it's helping him with his performance. And I was like, okay. But I was like, wait a minute, is this all the time? Like, is he walking around like that, or is it with the surrounding emotion? And she said, no, surrounding emotion. So I said, I have to share that with people because I just guarantee you there's not going to be a bunch of men telling me, hey, Phyllis, thanks for the Edge. This is really great. You know, this is what's happening. So I've had 3 people, women, come to me and tell me some good results with the Edge. So, but the same kind of ingredients are in Metaburn. There's just a little bit more here. So they do talk about increased libido with Metaburn. But the Edge is a tried and true, is what I'm getting from my team. So Mega X, got a couple more. Actually, Kelly, I'll tell Mega X, or do you want to talk about Mega X in the vitamin? Okay. Are you comfortable with Mega? Okay, come on up. Come on up. Let's welcome Kelly.
Do you want me to talk about them or tell
Those 2 would be super great. And then I'll finish up with Johnny.
Omega X is a plant-based omega. So most omegas come from fish sources, which can have a big questionable. So this is all plant-based, and primarily the ahi flour that has, I think, the omega-3. Is that right? But it's full spectrum omega. So this helps with brain health and heart health. In my own family, my husband has heart issues. But in the course of 10 months, because that's when we had our blood work done, he had his blood work done, his triglycerides went down 200 points, and his cholesterol went into complete normal range. So that was kind of a game changer and a saver for him because we just weren't sure how we were going to get him on the track. So that's been amazing for him. And then the X Factor Kids. So this is awesome because it's the methylated vitamin, which is what Phyllis talked about with the adult vitamin. Methylated meaning there's nothing synthetic. Your body can break them down immediately. She mentioned that gene mutation. I have that. Kids have that. basically, if you're taking something, if you have that mutation, 40 to 60% of us do, then the folic acid that you're getting can really just be a toxin in your body. It can't break it down. So you're doing more harm than good. So before I started Plexus, I knew about this. I knew we had this mutation, and I just threw out all of our vitamins. I was like, no vitamins, then toxic vitamins. And then Phyllis came over. The first thing she said was, "Oh, it's methylated." I was like, "What?" So, but the kids' vitamin, this came out a few months after we started, and it has a probiotic. So it's like 2-in-1. So you're getting the probiotic, which helps kids with digestion. One of my kids was having constipation issues, and we couldn't figure out the right thing to help her go. I knew we couldn't give her Miralax, but I was like, what are we gonna do? She started taking this, going to the bathroom, no problem. So they're getting that methylated vitamin, and it's just helping with digestion. And I have a few people on my team that are using this, and it's the same thing, like distended bellies in the little ones, and then suddenly they're doing better. So this is just a great, great kids vitamin. And even immunity, both of my younger kids take this, and their immune systems have been great. And I have someone on my team who has a teenager that's using this. She's 15 or 16, and she hasn't been sick like this whole season. So her mom was really excited about that, and she wasn't on any other product. So I kind of wasn't sure how much just this vitamin can do, but it can do a lot.
So great. Thank
And
you
then-
for sharing that.
Yeah.
Because I have tons of testimonies of the little kids. They're like, they haven't missed any school this year, and they normally miss a bunch of school. And Egan's son, Dalen, he's like, Dalen always gets sick. And he says Dalen like asks for his vitamins because he knows like that's what's helping him not get sick, and he feels good and they taste good.
Yeah.
We could pass them around if you guys want one. They're little chewables. I just opened them today. I was like, I'm gonna taste one of those because I don't have little
maybe
kids.
like a little sour. I don't know. My kids, the first
Yeah.
few days, my youngest, she was probably 5 at the time. She knew they were kind of sour, but she's like, "Mommy, I want to take them because they're good for me." And that lasted like 4 or 5 days. And now she's like, "I need my vitamins.
I need my vitamins. And then one of the girls, she says, I have to literally hide these vitamins because her kids get into them. And she goes, my son ate about 15 of them.
Yeah,
And she
my
goes,
kids will
I'm
take
here to
all-
tell you it doesn't do any harm.
Yeah.
I'm like, I bet he was pooping really well. But other than that,
Yeah.
that's so funny. Yeah, but I was like, oh, that's crazy. But yeah, okay, sorry.
And then the only thing that I would add, Phyllis had mentioned like the hormone control. So that's kind of part of my story. So my whole family is on Plexus. I think I have 5 daughters, 3, so there's 5 of us that are on the triplex, and each of us has had different results based on what's been out of balance. So for me, it was hormones. So Phyllis talked about the Slim. It shoves the glucose into all of our cells, and so it keeps us from having that sugar or that blood sugar imbalance. But what it also does is once your insulin is balanced, then it trickles down to all your hormones. So your thyroid, male and female hormones. So for me, that meant I was having really terrible periods, and the doctor was like, "You need to go on birth control, you need to have surgery," and I was like, "Oh, whatever. I'm not interested in either of those options." I just kind of put it out of my brain. And then a few months later, I was like, "Wait a minute, like my hormones are getting normalized." It probably took actually maybe 4 months, and I wasn't interested in telling anyone about the products. But then I called Phyllis, and I was like, "My periods are really normal," and like, okay, I think that there is something here, you know. And then sustained energy is another really great aspect of Slim. So I would have really long days, but I was just ready to do what I needed to do. And it was only in looking back that I realized I was having those results. I didn't notice it in the time because you're just doing the wrong thing. And then, immune system. I had a daughter, she's in college, her first year of college, so many pretty much chronic sinus infections, lots of antibiotics. And I was like, oh, I don't want you on antibiotics because I think they say it's at least a year that it takes your gut microbiome to get back into balance. So she's been on Plexus for just over a year now. No sinus infections this past year. She lives in the dorm. Her roommate would be really sick. She had 2 episodes of being sick for like 2 years, and she was just able to push through it. So that to me is huge, that she wasn't missing school and not getting on those antibiotics. I mentioned my husband and his heart issues, and so his blood work has been really great. Digestion for my little one. The Mega X is also really good for kind of that tween teen brain. They say, I don't have any boys, so they say especially for boys, they really need those omegas, but I think it's the same thing for girls. And we've just noticed a difference in improved mood. I know a lot of kids with like ADD, ADHD, the Mega X has been a huge help for them. So yeah, so we're leaders now. Same thing as Phyllis. I'm like, oh, we can't not take Plexus because it's just made such a difference for all of us. And again, it's each of us is out of balance in a different way, but whatever we've needed, it seems to have filled in the gaps of what we've needed. So it's not it is like one synergistic system, but it just works differently for
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, so thank you, Kelly, for sharing that. Yeah, and actually, the caffeine thing, like I gave up caffeine because I had so much energy. I was like, shoot, I don't need my coffee, and I was pooping well. So I'm like, that usually is why I drank my coffee, to help me go to the bathroom. So I'm like, I don't need it. So we literally, you will not see a coffee pot in my kitchen. My husband gave it up too, and he's a fireman, and they like it strong, And so at the station, he'll have a cup here and there. But we stopped drinking it, and the more coffee you drink in a day, just FYI, it causes our body to secrete cortisol, which is a stress hormone. And so what does that do? It dumps more glucose into our system because we're in a fight or flight mode. Our body thinks we're running from a bear, even though we're not. And so it's dumping more glucose, and when we don't use it, we store it. So when you're in constant stress, that's the other thing, is you'll notice that it's hard to lose weight.
And my college-age daughter was after drinking 6 cups of coffee a day. That was the other thing. I was just like, girl, you're killing your stomach. What are we going to do? 1 or 2 cups now, tops. So I'm like, oh, thank you.
Yeah, that's what I was like, oh yeah, I would want you to say something about Emily, because I think that's so great. Because at college, like one of our friends, she's like, I was drinking a pot of coffee a day, and and she suffers gut problems now down the road. And it's like, well, this is life. You're burning. It's very acidic to your stomach, and so it destroys good gut bacteria at too much. Let me see. Oh, I see some comments. Let me see. Oh, Lily, she's just laughing. Miss Lily, welcome you guys on our little Zoom call. So the last product I'm going to talk about, and then totally question and answers. If you guys want to divulge any of your personal concerns, health concerns, I can sort of describe how the product can speak to you personally, because like I said, there's so much to cover. It's better if I just just chat individually. But okay, so our Joyome is a beautiful skincare line. Like, this is it. It's 2 products, a morning and a night serum. And you put you just do 3 pumps. So wash your face in the morning, 3 pumps of this, spread it over your face, neck, chest, or anything else that's dry, cracked, any skin issues, put it on there. Your skin issues will clear up, because it's got prebiotics in it that feed skin from the outside in. And there's 1,300, like the European standards, they have a 1,300, not going to be put in our products list. Like, these are toxins. They don't put them in their products. And so we always talk about the Europeans have the best skincare. They do. But this one we went as far as 1,400 do not, toxic ingredients that we are not allowing in our products. So we have actually a website you can go to called joyomeskincare.com. I actually have samples too if anybody's really interested in the skincare, because for me, this was a massive game changer. I just turned 50. And what it did for me was it took these deep lines on my forehead and softened those lines. These are deeper. These are really deep on my forehead, just from smiling 50 years. But also my expression lines, all of that has softened. Deep lines around my lips were very deep, and I was like, gosh, I look like a smoker. I'm not a smoker, but that's just my genes. But I'm happy to say that this has made a difference, and I have not had to do the Botox or fillers, and no problem if you guys do that. But I just, chosen not to do that. I'm always the kind of the hippie glam girl. I like to do things as natural as possible, but I like to look good too. So this is great, and my skin just feels really soft. I feel like I've had a peel. Never had a peel, but I'm like, gosh, this must be what it feels like, because my skin texture is very smooth. I call it the glow. The amount of makeup you need is like none, because it gives you this really smooth, pretty glow. And hydration is always key too. My dermatologist used to say they'd have water bottles on their counter, and it was like, start here with the water and then come to us for your skincare, because they're like, if your skin is well hydrated, that'll take care of the dryness, the wrinkles, and all that stuff. So I was like, cool. So
is it moisturizer also?
Yeah, so it's 4 products in one. It's moisturizer, eye cream, toner, and exfoliant. So this is why, I rub some on my heels, because I saw somebody post a picture about helping with the cracks on their feet. Kelly has the same darn story, because I told her, and she's like, I'm doing it. But we put it on our, because we live in California, I'm mostly in sandals all the time. And so you get those deep, painful cracks, right? And I thought, well, if it's made my skin look this good, I'm going to try it. And so for 7 days straight, I put morning and night on my heels, actually on my whole foot. And by the 7th day, I took pictures. I'm like, there is barely a slim line that maybe you could be creative to see, but that painful deep crack was gone, absolutely gone. It healed my feet. So, and I used a pumice stone in between just to kind of like get the layers off, you know, and, but it just came off so smoothly. That's the other thing. And so I was like, shoot. And Joanne, we have a picture where like the stretch marks, the woman did half her belly and the other half left alone. And so it fades stretch marks as well. So it's just really healing to the skin. But that's our Joyome product. And there's bundles and everything that you can bundle your Joyome with, like the triplex. We have all kinds of different options. So it really kind of just depends on your interest. And I'm definitely here to help tailor a plan for you, make some suggestions. And first of all, answer any questions that you guys might have. So now we can go around, maybe introduce yourself. I don't know.
I'm Candace. I just like as far as it being like FDA approved and that type of thing, is that like is it like on the market, like, or is it just bought through consultants, or how?
Yeah, great question. So no supplements are FDA approved. FDA doesn't have time. You know, they're prescription only, but we adhere to strict FDA guidelines and standards. We are third party tested, so whatever we say is in our product has been proven to be absolutely true in our product. Okay, and then also we are globally sourced. So I talked about the African cactus, the New Zealand. Oh, I didn't talk about ease. Oh, what did I miss? Ease. The New Zealand green-lipped mussel. It comes from New Zealand, and we also have the New Zealand black currant that's in our our X Factor Plus. Anyway, yeah, but it's all organically. I don't know if it's organically.
Non-GMO.
Non-GMO.
Yeah.
It's gluten-free. We actually have an attribution sheet that we can print out and show you what is in each of them. But yeah, it's no dairy, no soy, no yeast, only beneficial yeast. So some people say, oh, I'm really sensitive to yeast. We haven't had a person yet that's had any issues with the yeast that's in our Vital Biome. And the Vital Biome, it's just because it's grown on a petri dish to pull that beneficial yeast or bacteria from. So that when they say that that's what's in those products, that it's because it's grown on that. So it'll also say it has dairy in it, the Vital Biome, but it's what was, the bacteria was grown on a petri dish that you're looking at lactobacillus, right?
Something else that's kind of cool. So our FDA doesn't approve any of our supplements, but in Canada, they have a different system and they do have to approve them. And Plexus was approved to be sold in Canada now. So whatever, I don't know what their standards are, but you can imagine it's probably similar to our FDA, and they've approved the products.
Yes, thank you for that. Yeah, I always forget to mention that, but they are the equivalent of our FDA in Canada. So yeah, so Canada, we used to ship across the borders, but now they're distributing in Canada. We also have a distribution center in Australia. We just launched them in April. And then New Zealand is also receiving our products, but again, that's just being shipped across the border right now. They are working to get a distribution center there as well. And then we have just launched a huge Hispanic market back office. So everything in our back office is in Spanish. So if you have family members, friends, like I did a meeting downtown in the north end of town, and I had my friend, she was translating for me. So, so that her family could understand it now, but we didn't have any of this in the back office in Spanish. Well, now we do. And you can simply click on your link and it'll turn it into it'll all be in Spanish, or you can choose the United States or choose Canada or whatever, wherever you're at. And it turns your back office into that. So great. Did I answer everything? Was there something else? Okay, great.
I'm Ashley, and what sparked my interest was gut. I have a lot of gut issues. I've had them since I was younger. Always have, where when I was younger, more of it would be I wouldn't go to the bathroom for a couple days. Then when it would come, it'd be gnarly constipation. And then I'd be 30 minutes in the bathroom, literally feeling like I was like in labor. Like that's what it feels like. And so I always thought, well, when I have kids, I've got this. Like I've had pain so bad in the bathrooms, like it'll be, which was pretty close to what I felt like, but obviously kids were on a higher scale.
Yeah.
I mean, I've suffered from it. She does. My mom does. My brother does. Everybody in our family has like these constipation, irritable bowel issues. like, I would say, you know, if I'm pretty good about my water intake and what I eat, I can go pretty much every day, morning, you know, afternoon type thing. But my mom, she, like, every person in my family, every different thing that you would mention, I'm all, oh, that worked for my mother. Oh, that worked for my mother-in-law. She has heart conditions. She can't take anything because she has a heart condition for like hormones for her menopause. She can't take anything for her hot flashes. Has to be all natural.
Yeah.
And she literally, I work with her at her daycare that she owns, and she sweats. Like she just all of a sudden a hot flash comes and she like dies. And we're gonna be going to Hawaii next week, and she's like, "Oh my God, it's gonna be like so humid. I'm gonna like just be in the pool the entire time." Because and she's been not sleeping really well at night, and I'm like, "Oh, there's not my mother." Talking to the kids, you know, would be nice to have more energy. Being on the edge, being like, you know, rip their face off, even though they just spilled Cheerios all over the floor.
Yes.
Like,
Yes.
that would be nice. It actually tastes good. I was nervous. I'm super picky with food.
Perfect.
And so I take, when I'm tasting it, I'll actually taste good. Like I would drink it.
Yeah, good.
Like, you know, some things I've tried, I was like, yeah, right, I'm never gonna drink that. Like, I'm too picky. It's disgusting.
Yes. No, I love it too. And some people, it's funny because our taste buds are different. And so some people say, oh, it's really sweet. Well, you can dilute it down as much as you need to. That's the cool thing. Or you're like, well, I don't want that much fluid. Well, that's fine. It's just going to be a little more concentrated, but you can drink less, you know, with your packet. It's totally up to you. But I say between 16 and 20 ounces, mix it in that. And that's how I've diluted that. So that's the dilution getting there.
And for nursing and, you know, maybe my daughter with vitamins and stuff like that.
Perfect.
He's gassy and has constipation issues.
Oh
So.
my gosh. How old is he?
8 months.
He's 8 months. So, you know, you could actually break that little, well, it'll just be interesting to see what he gets from you because you're breastfeeding.
My breast milk.
Yep. And so that's what happened with Tara. So you might be just fine there, but like even at a year old, you can cut one of those little kids' vitamins in half and just crumble it, or they have teeth by then, so they can nibble
My
on
daughter
it.
would eat that sucker like it's candy.
Oh yes,
No,
yeah.
and then the
Probably
baby
just-
wanted to grab it because the kids love that stuff. And, and so there was like a little crumb in there, and I gave it to her, and she chewed it, and she looked up at me and just smiled.
Like
it's probably
more?
like the sweetest thing
Yeah.
that she's really ever eaten before. She's like, what is that?
And the other thing, it helps with his breast milk production. So people notice, like if they were struggling, or like I'm not making much breast milk, I'm pumping, and I'm only getting this much out. It's just that it's that blood sugar balance. It's that insulin. Once we, like Kelly said, we balance that insulin, all your other hormones fall into place. So people with Hashimoto's thyroid disease, I have several people on my team. They are losing weight like crazy with Hashimoto's. Hashimoto's people cannot lose weight, and they feel exhausted and tired all the time. Fix them.
My mom had thyroid cancer.
Okay.
And so, you know, she doesn't have her thyroid anymore. And so she had a lot of hormone. Like she was off the patch for a long time. And then now she's just like, I have to get back on the patch. Like my hormones are just gnarly. My hot flashes are horrible.
So she's gonna love it. And that other thing about X Factor Plus for people with any kind of thyroid issues where they have to take, you know, thyroid medication, I'll just say it that way because there's different types. But when it helps with the T3, T4 conversion. So it's beautiful. It's perfect for somebody that has thyroid issues.
Is there any way that the video that you did live that they could see it? Like if not live, like later on, or
Yeah, I've actually recorded this. So
I would love to have my parents and people just because it's easier for someone to see it rather than me. Like I just swear, just drink it, you know?
Yeah, for sure. But you know what? It can be as simple as that. Like just like Sarah, girl, 7-6 is what I'm here. Just give me $20. Just try it. Because I shared, you know, she had some information, but it was like, you know, when you're not ready to hear it, it's kind of like, just try it. Just try it. And then wham, like what happened for Tara. You know, like it's incredible. Incredible. I love your story.
The energy level, you'll notice such a different. I mean, you'll notice such a difference. Like sometimes I told her, I was like, I was like hardly. It would be like 5 o'clock, and I'm falling asleep on the bed. Like, oh God, like how am I supposed to give these kids to bed? I could just cook your own dinner.
Yeah.
And now it's like 11:30 before I know it, and I'm getting the laundry done, and I'm done, and I'm so into it, and it's just like, okay, go to bed. You know, but it isn't jittery. It's like, okay, once I get to bed, it's like you're out. So
Yeah.
it's nice. And then with the breastfeeding, I've noticed that, I mean, we're pretty well endowed anyway, but I don't get as engorged I didn't feed her I went to worked, and I was gone from like 8 o'clock in the morning till like 9 at night. And normally, like on the way home, it's like, oh, I can hardly like lift my arm up on one of them to try to, and the engorge stuff doesn't happen. So it's kind of balancing out somehow. I'm assuming that's what it's from.
Yeah. Just blood sugar balance, girl. Okay.
I'm Sierra. I'm Ashley's cousin. Well, I came just because she was talking about it and she wanted to go. So, but yeah, I have, like she said, I have a lot of similar issues. Not so much the constipated part. I never had a problem with that. Mine was more of I eat something and either goes right through.
Okay.
It's like immediate, or it takes a few minutes,
Okay.
or later in the day.
So, okay,
Never had a
so-
problem with that. It's either right.
Perfect. So I don't want you to fear the cleanse.
So-
Like when you hear cleanse, like
Yeah.
people with IBS are like, oh.
Yeah, no.
But what happens is it's a beautiful form of magnesium, and so magnesium
But I know,
also
yeah, I have a lot of.
relaxes.
But I do have a lot of issues, and I saw a doctor back when I lived in Ventura, and she was more like a holistic doctor and did a very elaborate blood work,
Mhm.
and my insulin level was extremely high, and I think I just recently, and they said like my enzyme level was elevated or something, and my
Liver enzymes.
yeah, that was kind of elevated, and I have high stress. I forget which one that is. Cholesterol.
Cortisol. The cortisol.
Yeah, that was
yeah.
pretty high.
So
Told me
you're
to
like the
meditate or
perfect
something.
candidate.
Yeah,
Yeah. no,
you
it's just
need
like
to
that.
meditate or something, and have lavender. I don't know. They're like, you need to do something.
She just moved here from Ventura in January.
I'm
Oh,
26, and my levels are.
okay. So yeah. So that's great.
I just
Yeah.
started getting like my eczema outbreak on my eyes.
I'm glad you said that. Yeah. So eczema.
I have eczema really bad.
She
my
has it
hands.
horribly.
My daughter has it, he
Hands.
has it.
Oh my goodness.
Eczema is an autoimmune issue, which
Yeah.
sounds really weird, and I never knew that until recently. But
Yeah.
so we both have several people on my team are on Phyllis' team, but that have had great results with eczema.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's somehow. Yeah.
Yeah. So I didn't talk about these, but I do want to hear the rest of your story actually. So is
Yeah.
there anything else?
Oh, no,
Your
I mean,
eczema.
I know I'm supposed to be like gluten free, probably dairy free. I don't obviously.
Yeah, it's hard. It's really hard to cut those head
I obviously
out,
need
yeah.
to lose weight. Yeah, there's a lot of things. I'm on medication for anxiety and depression.
Okay.
So if I skip, I'm extremely dizzy. I have very bad brain fog. I don't sleep ever. I can't ever fully sleep. And I'm a light sleeper too, so anything will wake me up. Yeah, I got back issues, body pain.
You've been trying to
There's like
walk.
nursing happening right now,
Yeah.
so
But see, isn't it crazy?
I got a
Like a
little
lot
bit
of
of all
these
of
things
it.
just stem.
I'm at risk, yeah, probably for heart disease and like diabetes.
So I really want her to come so we can like
That was
figure
like
this
the crap,
out.
'cause, I mean, the anxiety, the depression, the not sleeping.
Anxiety,
It's,
yeah, I had the anxiety severely in 2017.
it was bad. In
It
Hawaii,
was-
she was like she had to be in the room. And she didn't want to talk to
That
anybody.
was
That was 2 years ago. Then I was 17, right? 16.
that wasn't even during my outbreak.
But you had
That
one
was
in the
before.
room.
That yeah, I
You
had
were on the phone
I had
with
an
Mom.
anxiety attack in the room, but that was before my like outbreak in that February. So we went July, and then February, after that is when I thought I was sick. Like I got, I like didn't feel good. I had a runny nose, fever. Like I just thought I was sick, and then my anxiety didn't go away. So it was every day, and I was shaking, and I would panic, and I couldn't eventually really drive without crying. And I couldn't go to the grocery store without just running straight to the bathroom,
Mm.
both ends,
Oh no.
puking and potty.
I want this for you so much. And I mean, a lot of what you're saying, I'm like,
So,
I would
Yeah.
get so scared that something was gonna happen to my kids, I'd go pull them out of school.
Mhm.
I wouldn't let my husband drive them anywhere. I mean, it's like the
Yeah.
anxiety part of it and the
It was
depression.
bad. And I was a nanny at the time, so I remember crying. Like I had to go get the kids from school, and I called her mom crying. And I was like, she's all right, like
No.
Are you sure like it's gonna be okay? And I was like just trying to breathe. But yeah, it took a year to find the right medication
to get the medication.
to get me normal.
Yeah. So being on antidepressants and stuff, thank goodness for those drugs, right?
Yeah.
Because that is your lifeline for sure. While you fix your gut, you're going to stay on those, and your doctor's going to help you wean off of them.
Yeah.
And so we have so many testimonies of people getting off their meds, and you'll say, oh no, I've been on them, I'm not messing with these. You'll see.
Yeah.
So as you start to feel better and your mood lifts
Yeah,
and
it was
boosts,
definitely
you're just
scary.
like, oh my gosh, okay, let's go chat with my doctor. And then you let him or her titrate you off, because there's no cold turkey, and you don't ever cold turkey those drugs.
Well, I mean, I accidentally missed one day, like I said, and it
Yeah.
doesn't affect me that day, but it affects me the next day.
Yeah.
Even if I take it that morning, and I'm really busy, like
Yeah.
even
we
if I
just need to
turn
get
like that, I'm like,
Yeah, so you just need some good gut healing,
You
because
know.
all these other little things that are cropping up, it's just comes to this root cause. And so you can just Google gut health. You're going to see a ton of stuff out there. Google the word microbiome. I have a great video that's done by a gastroenterologist. It's a female. She's amazing. She talks about like birthing babies vaginally so that they get a big gulp of mom's flora. And the babies that are born C-section tend to have a lot of infections and sickness their first year. Ear infections. Yeah. And
The C-section babies, absolutely.
yeah, they're like sick. So isn't it crazy that even mama's flora? So they're cluing into all of this. And my friend who's a nurse works down in San Diego at Children's Hospital. And she's like, oh, we're doing big research right now on the whole thing about, vaginal birth versus C-section, and then the gut health and all these different issues with kids, right? Like you see it in little babies, these food insensitivities. Like, why? Well, mama's gut is what babies were born with. So if mama's gut's a mess, what does baby have? And then that becomes their microbiome, and then la. And then everybody says, well, my family, it's a family history. Well, right, because we're all made of the same DNA and microbes. And so, what a cutie. You liking it? You're going to love it. So let's see. We do have like ease cream. So the ease, this is what I want to talk about. Ease and nerve. Really quick, you guys have been amazing. If you need to leave, that's okay, but I really want you to hang in there with me. So ease is our anti-inflammatory. Get rid of your ibuprofen because it's destroying your gut, okay? I used to eat it like candy, and that's a big reason why my kidneys were not failing, but I had bad kidney numbers. And I'm like, why? I stopped using ibuprofen, had my labs tested, my kidneys are fine, because I moved to ease. But then also I don't really need ease anymore because I don't have any chronic issues or pain anymore. And I was a runner, right? I had really tight Achilles heel. I had a back that would not release because I have a little scoliosis. So the one side of my back was just, it wouldn't release. But I'm like, just let go already. All gone. So ease gets in and it eats up the proteins that create inflammation. Also, it softens and fixes scar tissue. So nerve is something for people with diabetic neuropathy or any kind of shooting, burning pain, like sciatica is actually a nerve thing, right? So reducing inflammation first will fix your sciatica.
Okay.
Nerve
I don't
is
know
for
why I
any
haven't
kind
been
of
on that forever then.
girl. Ease is amazing. So I start people out on a loading dose. That's my thing, because I'm like, let's attack this inflammation. Brooke, who's also the ICU nurse, and her husband's a doctor, they are the ones that recommended it. So I just recommend that to everybody. Like, start big and then titrate lower, and then you're done. But start with 3 bottles if you really have some serious inflammation or pain. Second month, 2 bottles. Third month, 1 bottle just to have in your cupboard. Or if you really have some deeper issues, you might want to be on ease for a while. This helped my husband's father, Jim, when I talked about, he's using the ease as well, and he was having hip pain and knee pain, and it's all gone. It's all gone. And the doctors would tell him, it's arthritis, here's your Celebrex, or here's your ibuprofen, or whatever. Again, NSAIDs just completely destroy your microbiome. It kills your stuff. So those are those 2. And then this ease cream is awesome. So like if you have an aches, pains, my hands from texting a lot, I'll have some pretty achy at nighttime. I hate to admit that, but it's true. But that's something you want to try some, sure. It has a menthol smell. so don't put it in your eyes. But there's green lip mussel that's in both the Ease cream and the Ease product. Now this Ease, you guys can certainly come up here and look at anything. Hold the bottles, read the bottles, it's fine. But the Ease smells like the ocean. So if you have any kind of allergies to mollusks or clams, then the Ease is not for you. If it's like shellfish, meaning shrimp or lobster, you're okay. Because that same nurse friend is allergic to shrimp and lobster, but she's like, I know I need the Ease so bad. She went and had her allergist test her, and she said, no, I'm not allergic to shrimp or lobster, or I'm allergic to shrimp and lobster, not the clams and mussels. So she's been successfully taking the Ease, no problem at all. So just that. And then this is our body cream. So this is another thing, like if you do have eczema, psoriasis, this is just, and then, or also this was actually made when post radiation treatment, you get these burns. So this was formulated to help heal the skin from the burns, and it has. Oh, it's because it's locked. That's what I did. Yeah, there we go. But it has activated charcoal in it, so that's why it's gray. And so, and it also has spirulina in it. It has primrose oil, shea butter, so it's really soothing and healing to the skin. My friend who lives here in Santa Maria, she's one of our workout instructors. She was going through breast cancer treatment, and I just gifted her a bottle of that because I knew she was going through the radiation, and she'd already had some treatments. I'm like, oh, I'm getting you a bottle, I promise. So once she started using it, she's like, oh my goodness, Phyllis, that was huge difference. So anyway, that was kind of nice. But okay, that is it. So we whip up some lean. Do you guys want to try the shake at all? And sorry, we do have any.
My name's Colleen, and I used to work out all the time. And I've had knee issues since I was about 15 when I crashed a motorcycle. So I ended up having to have knee replacement surgery in 2013, and that was my fifth surgery. And I'm having a lot of problems with it, and it's not impacting my hip. And so I feel like it's a lot of inflammation. Like I maybe take 2, maybe 4 Advil a week, just because I know that it messes up my bed. They want to do another surgery, and I'm just not willing to do that. So I'm kind of wanting to try anything. I think a lot of my issues are inflammation. I put on like 40 pounds since I stopped working out like because it hurts. So anyway, I'm excited to see it.
Awesome. I'm really excited for you too. Yeah, let's be in conversation, like really close conversation. I want to definitely get you on the next step and make sure you're like half, and we can really see. Yeah, so that's good. You have the brain pack, so you've got a bottle of lean. What you can do with that is, yeah, so what I would do is I would start with 3 in the morning, 3 at night, empty stomach. So you take thyroid? No, okay, perfect. So thyroid, if you do take thyroid medication, you just need to separate thyroid by 2 to 3 hours, more like 3 hours from supplements. You have to really separate thyroid from anything. Your pharmacist would tell you that. So that's the only thing, but it doesn't interfere. You can take all our products.
What about, it's kind of questionable. I've had 2 of the worst things happen in life. And with the first one, within a few days, I developed high blood pressure. I had never had high blood pressure in my life. And I had a doctor friend tell me that often it's onset of a traumatic life thing. So last summer, I went back for my refill. They said, the Dr. Van Dalen, and he's like, you don't have high blood pressure. And so I went off it. And then I had the same event repeat itself in September. And I just thought, let me stay on it. So does it impact the lisinopril?
Okay. So do you have like a blood pressure cuff where you check your pressure often or no? Okay, or just even running into like Rite Aid or something to check your arm, or I think Albertsons has one of those where you can just check it yourself. Or
well, actually, I ended up in the ER a few weeks ago because everything just hurt, like, and it never happened before. And I was afraid, like, blood clot or something. And they're like, "Oh, your blood pressure's fine. Your blood work's good." So I don't know if I have high blood pressure or not, but we've had too much going on in our family that I feel like I need to just
use it as a preventative. Yeah. So it would be interesting, like, I say go in, get your blood work done at the and I'm like, you don't have to wait to start your products to get blood work done. I say, call your doctor's office and just say, hey, just wondering if you could just give me a full blood work panel that I can go and have done, and then just make your appointment for follow-up so they can give you your baseline right now. And then like 3 months from now, or 6 months from now, or a year from now, at least like if you're blood pressure checking, maybe you should say like, hey, in a month, can I check in with you? You know, and just get those things checked and like forward, and then they can say, oh my gosh, your pressures are low. Or if you're like, I'm feeling really dizzy, it might be your blood pressure's low.
Yeah, I don't get headaches or feel dizzy or any of that, but
Okay.
anyway, I do not have to go. My husband was to bed at 8.
Oh, that's
No,
sweet.
you get up at 4.
Oh my goodness. Okay. Well, it was so nice meeting you. We can definitely chat over the
Yeah, I'll put us in a group text
or something. Would be
Yours.
great. Yes. Yeah, I definitely have. This I have has everything in it except for
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sure. Oh, let me put stop. Hey Lily, we're gonna wrap it up, girl. Thanks for coming.
And it was just in April, because we had this discussion the other night.
Hey girly.
I mean, obviously they don't have.
Well, thanks for sharing.